and each thought again produces its own behavior. So goes the cyclic action. Remember this formula and know how the thought force works. How the thought force works through your thought, word and deed. When you are an artist in using it, by becoming a scientist while learning it. When you are learning something, it is a science. When you are applying something, it is the art. Then you can use it for healing. You can use it for comforting. You can use it for peacemaking. You can use it to construct architectures of thought patterns. When everyone produces his own architect of thought model, the whole globe of this earth will be like a beautiful city like Geneva, and the whole humanity will be like Switzerland, where there was no war for the past many centuries. Let it be like this to the whole humanity. Let us try to understand and believe the importance of producing our thoughts. Let us not kill ourselves in self-pity or hatred of others. Let us train ourselves to produce constructive and positive thought patterns. Let us begin it from today onwards, and let us give the stimulation to the members of our family in the house and the same stimulation in our clubs to our friends. And let us feel no fear or shame or humiliation in doing this continuously. And let the whole world be like Geneva. When we study the history of the term emotion through the century and how the word has been used by the maximum number of people and authors, we will try to understand the precise meaning of the word emotion. Then if we want to use the word precisely, the word has no better meaning. The meaning always indicates something that is not good. Therefore, when scientifically used, emotion is the negative term for the positive term devotion. Negative term. But if you use positive emotion instead of devotion, then we can use the term emotion. But the term emotion used independently denotes something negative only, because the difference between the right type of emotion, if you ask me to use it, the right type of emotion and the negative emotion, if I use the term according to your own liking, the negative emotion produces restlessness in the person, and the positive emotion produces tranquility. You will find the mind agitated when it is emotional, and you will find the mind steady and more self-conscious when it is positive. So emotion, the term emotion is always used to denote a psychological stir which is always a disturbance to the nervous system and the brain, which has no capacity to rearrange the thoughts. So I used accordingly in the precise sense. But we can use according to your own idea also, but we should be careful to use it with an adjective, the right emotion and the wrong emotion. The vital attitude that produces the corpuscular activity is called thought. What magnetism is to a magnet, thought is to the man. Even we begin to practice yoga, it is not at all possible to control a thought, just as it is not at all possible to stop a river flowing. But if you make a regulator to the river, everything is possible. So, to control a thought, it is not possible, but to produce a better thought channel will automatically controls the thought which is to be controlled. So, our attempt should not be to control wrong thoughts, but be aware of the right thoughts and to produce them. Then, without any attempt, without any effort at all, wrong thoughts will be absorbed. So it is possible to neutralize and absorb wrong thoughts, and it is not at all possible to control thoughts. When we know the process, it is easy. That is how the yoga practitioners of a successful yogic path will do. Yes, it is a negative emotion because it is not required in the situation. What is required in the situation is a capability to stop fighting. If by any method we are able to stop the fighting and the violence, it is right type of emotion. But if we go into redness of face, and if our tension is raised, and if we begin to weep, that is only a reaction which is not required. So it can be called only a weakness and not the required action. That is why one of the masters of wisdom said that pity is not love and tears is not the solution. Middle of an attitude of thought current, it is the midpoint that produces blossom, because there is a previous sequence which is very big, which has brought us a situation to receive blossom. Just as the childbirth makes us understand that there was in the past a history of 9 months. Similarly, a fight has its own history previously. We can take care only in starting a thought flower and a thought current, a thought. We can take care only in producing a thought. As to the quality of the thought force we can produce. But when once a sequence has been already produced and it has taken a speed, in the middle it is not at all possible to do anything except to give blows or receive blows. It is possible for you not to throw a stone, but when once the stone is thrown, nothing can be done in the middle except to receive the blow of the stone or allow the stone to take its course until the speed is 0. So, when we are in the middle of a thought sequence which has already started in the past, nothing can be done. Everything can be done in making a start. That is what is called the law of retribution or karma. Every thought already produced has its own inevitable results which can never be escaped. Active tolerance is an attitude and love is the quality of thought. Both are the same. One is the part of the other. Active tolerance is an externalization of an attitude which is part of love. If we are to make some justice to the definition of love, we should speak of Christ or Buddha. So it is a big subject, but within a few sentences I will try to give what is love, not according to my conception, but according to the experts of love, whom we call the prophets and the avatars. And avatars are the sons of God, Son of God. Very shortly only I can give you at this time. Excuse me for the brevity of my expression. You take a flower, take an imitation flower, exactly like the original flower. What is the difference? The first flower is created, the artificial flower is reproduced. The first is called creation, the second is called reproduce. Take a third flower, make a flower into its parts, separate all the petals and all the parts of the flower, just as the botany professor does it. Now you put together all the parts of the flower exactly in the same model as the flower and arrange them beautifully to a rod, so that I find no difference between a natural flower and the flower you have produced. Now what is the difference? In the natural flower, the petals are in the oneness of the flower. The petals are not a plurality because the flower is one. The petals are parts. But in the second flower, it is the plurality of many items. You cannot call it a flower, you can call it a bundle of the parts of the flower. Now understand what produces the natural flower in such a beautiful arrangement. Take another example. There is a butterfly standing on a flower. If you observe the designs on the two wings of the butterfly, they are exactly similar and there is perfect symmetry. If you can paint a butterfly, it will be exactly the same, but it is only a reproduction and not a butterfly. What is it that makes nature to produce the designs like that? Do you accept that there is a symmetry in nature? Do you accept that there is a design producing taste in nature? Do you accept that there is beauty producing nature in nature. Do you accept it? And when you think of the solar system, see how the various planets go around the orbits around the sun. As a true scientist, not as a pure astronomer, do you accept that the solar system is one unit or it is a plurality of many planets? What is your idea? I am asking you. Is the solar system one or the bundle of many planets? One. Do you accept it? What is it that is producing the pattern of the solar system? Do you accept that there is a taste and an intelligence in nature that is producing the solar system? Similarly, the atom, the structure of an atom, that nature is called love. When it is manifested through you and through me, it is called the expression of true love. But all the other things which we call love are only the proofs of our incapacity to understand the true love. It is this love that keeps all the parts of your constitution together in the form of the consciousness of the heart. That's why as long as the heart is working, we live. And it is the same power which is working in the family members, which keeps the family as one family, not the many members. Similarly, the society and the nation. You can apply this in any scale. This is what is understood as love by the masters of wisdom, and they have taught us this by the name love. And if we want to explain more, it should take a full lecture or two.